Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for the start of week 24, 2016, Monday, June 13th. As always, please seek financial advisor when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only to support your knowledge in the market. See what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, let's jump right into today's market, as econ data was quite light here today as we head in this week, as we'll wrap up at the end. FOMC Brexit vote coming next week, and quad witching the end of the contract. But the majority of the volume in today's contract, as price action rolled in for a total here 205 ticks with a total of 12 setups. A little bit more than average here actually, but some pretty solid setups. Nothing great to write home about, but nothing bad here. 117 on the NQ, 46 on the ES, and 42 on the YM. It was that morning chop. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. There it was, that morning chop price action. As we got going there, need a little extra help to tell you which way to go, as price action was pretty much up, down, pre-market was already downside, and all you got to do is add in that T350, and that would have kept you out of some of that chop. A little bit of price action to the downside, but again, looking for as many charts in sync, and we really didn't have any of that until we finally got that price action to the upside, and there we go. Price action breaks above the T350 on at least 3 charts in the green. Nice move to the upside on both NQ, YS, ES. New market there, YS and YM and ES. Was it to remain? No, it wasn't. Price action actually ended up reverting. You can catch some of those charts there on my blog as I posted them, as well as online. And there it was, trend number 3 of the day. Trend number 3 as price action finally broke downside, whether you were looking at it on the modified 2 charts or 4 charts. It was sink to the bottom. That's right, T3 moving averages to the downside as price action on a sell signal, and away she went. Not being able to catch the YM. The YM, again, not having all charts in sync. Only on the modified here, but again, you had that T350 there kind of in the way, and you wanted the breakout. But there was a play, there was a move here once the price action broke downside, but the ES and the NQ were the ones to write home about. What kept us in the trend downside? That's right, it was the 5144. Check it out in the afternoon session as price action held downside. A little reject here, resistance off the 50 EMA on a 1-minute chart, and to the downside. So AM chop leads to a little bit of a pop, which gave us a couple of entries to the upside, but then it was all downside from there. Check out the AD line. As price action, again, there was that lift in the AM session, price action popping up after a pre-market that was slightly to the downside, and then offered an opportunity here to the downside as European markets just completely took out that move, and then a little bit of chop here, offered a little bit of a pop upside, but only held down for so much. 10-minute chart here, holding underneath the 10 exponential moving average, and to the downside. That's all she saw for the rest of the day. Let's jump into the 5-minute charts, taking a look at the 4 here. We got the crude holding to the 25-minute open range low at the beginning of the session, and then eventually popping upside to regain some of those losses off from the highs around 50, a little bit above $50 as we pushed up to 49, but unable to hold. Came back inside the average, around the average high here around 48.86. Globex high really didn't push any further. Again, crude most likely waiting on Wednesday for the EIA report. All right, let's take a look at the ES again. ES with that little pop on the AD line up to the average high here and closing out the daily gap. Price action breaks back downside to today's open, pretty much holds, and then the remainder of the session closing out at or near the average low. YM, same picture, as well as the NQ. Price action lifting up here to the 1-hour open range high, setting it and never being able to close any further. Daily gap, closed it out. Came back down around today's open and cam level, and then it was downside to the average low. And NQ, same picture to the upside. Globex high, average high up here around 49.84, comes back down to the zone of the today's open inside value area, and then bang right back down to the average low 12.42 and holds the line. That's right, the average low based on a certain amount of days period, average taking in the high, low, and the close, and there she sat to the downside 12.42. Hey, did we get any fib projection levels today? Well, how about this? Hitting both upside and downside. So there you go. Not only are we 3 out of 3 for the day, for the week, well, we just started. It's only Monday, but there it is. NQ, YM, and ES all hit their fib projection levels, not only to the upside as we saw in the AD line, that price projection upside, hitting that target 86.25, 755, and 47, but to the downside as well. Kind of grab those top ones quickly. Once we got going downside on that AD line, it was kind of exciting to see price action come down here and hit those targets. Let's take a look at the daily gaps here. Price action on the daily gaps. Did we get any of those? Yes, we did. We closed it out 77.25 on the daily ES, and price action again on the YM coming down here 528. NQ not being able to close that upside gap 58.75, and the crude still leaving one behind, but we've got daily gaps down below. Let's take a look at the volume profile. Let's see if we hit any of those open pocs today. 805 sitting up here. That's right. That was the top of the line on the YM here as price action lifted up. Side on that AD line that lifted the market up. Advancers, decliners. There it was. 805, 600 AV POC. YM not being able to push any higher. And it was the NQ. NQ, not much of a VPOC up here as it is 600 downside, 42.90, but there it was closing out. That was from the last session, so no real open VPOCs to contend with, but it was the ES almost making it up to 2093.50, but it was downside closing that open POC 2072, but 600-day upside as crude just seems to be sitting up here at these highs. Open VPOC downside, 600-day 45.70. All right, let's take a look at the price action today on the daily trend. Here we go. Let's start with the crude here. Price action on the crude as we saw. Buy signal from just post-market open there at the top of the hour at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Buy signal holding above the T350 to the upside. How many charts? That's right, 3 charts in the green. Good enough. And to the upside. Sell signal back to the downside, eventually catching up. Not much afternoon session as the 1-minute chart was kind of all over the place. Had downside action, a little push up, and then comes back down. So nothing to write about in the afternoon. Taking a look at the YM chart again. It's a very similar picture here on all 3 major indices. As price action lifted in the AM, and after that chop, pop, and then eventually we dropped. That's right. The YM not having the cleanest of entries as we were looking under that T350. A lot of that chop, and then eventually an afternoon session at the end here on all 4 charts in the red. So if you didn't get anything the majority of the beginning and the middle, at least it was a move towards the end as the 50 was below the 144. We showed that chart to you at the beginning. If you don't remember that, go ahead to my website, Trading Fibs blog, and you'll see it there. All right, so there it was. Price action to the upside is a hell above the T350, the AM session, giving you a couple opportunities on the YM to the upside. Again, YM was the only index here that I didn't like the entry to the downside. You had to wait for this chop, not much of a move until the very end. Taking a look at the NQ. NQ, same picture. T3 leaves you out of that chop this morning. Maybe you got an entry here. I waited it out. I wanted all 4 charts in sync, or at least 3 with a nice tick count, and there it was to the upside right at about 947 here as price action lifted. Pullback, yep, pullback there. That wasn't exciting, but it did hold there at the T350 and then back into the upside. So there you are. Trend number 2. Solid signal downside here on 2 charts, but you're waiting for more. How many? At least 3. There you go. T350 down to the downside. Very nice move. Price action lifts back up, chops, and then eventually afternoon drop. That's right, 50 below 144. Let's take a look at the ES. Price action, same picture here. Nice move to the upside in the AM session. Again, Not as much chop on the ES as we had on the NQ there. There you go. There's your price action. Got to tighten this up. There we go. And the lift upside. I actually tighten that up a little more than you guys can see. There you go. Lift to the upside. Lift to the upside. Sell signal right here in the afternoon session. Let's go ahead and maximize that chart so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There you go. Sell signal to the downside. How many charts? 1, 2, 3. That's all it took to the downside. Lifts back up. You're not so eager to jump back in. Delayed signal. Again, right back into the downside on 3 charts in the red. You're taken out on your stop. No entry over here as price action was kind of hovering here at the Globex low, and you're not going quick anywhere. It wasn't until the afternoon session that had a nice move. Again, 50 below the 144. Very nice trend to the downside. Let's jump into the gold there today. Gold had a little bit of a promising move and kind of just fluttered out the remaining of the session. Price action to the downside. 3 charts in the red. 4 charts in the red to the downside. Slight pullback. Come back in. There you are. 3 charts to the green. Back to the upside. So nice move on the gold, but pretty much sideways action. Nothing really running away here. 51.44 on both sides of the coin. Let's take a look at the 6E. 6E, very nice move here. I think I had a 1-minute chart here. I might not have. I'll get that here for next time. But let's just take a look at the 51.44. I'm sorry, the T3 moving average here. That was a nice move on the euro this morning. Price action lifted here on the U.S. market open. Again, you might not have taken the first entry here as T3 moving averages. It crossed here, but it was the pullback here after a soft pullback, holding here at the T350, and bang, right to the upside. Solid Heikin Ashi bars, tails up, and 4 charts in the green. Couldn't look for anything better. So there you go. All right, again, we took a look at the daily pick. We looked at the daily gaps. Keep those in mind as we jump right in here to where we might be headed tomorrow. Again, all you want to do is keep the bias out of your head, trade the charts in front of you. So here we go. Taking a look at the crude again, momentum-wise, we are still in an uptrend. As long as that 50 is above the 144 on a 4-hour chart, that is a continued uptrend. You go back in time and take a look at, crude's been in, we've had some pullbacks, but as long as that 50 is above that 144, we continue to remain in an uptrend, and that's exactly what we have right now. We have support at the 144 EMA as we slide sideways. Again, a little bit of distance to get to that 50 and the 200, but volume looking good on the crude as price action. Again, we got fib extensions, not only fib extensions, but our next open gap up here at 55.75. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get that. All I'm saying is that line is in contention as long as that 51.44 holds upside. If we continue to come downside, wait for the break action of the 144, then to come down and close out any previous open gaps. So you go to the open gaps, you take a look, where's my next open gap? All right, one level to watch out for is 46.43. Look for support there. So you got 46.43. You have a VPOC here at 45.70, so that would be the next level down as well. All right, so daily big pick. Keep those in mind. Again, as long as the 50 holds above the 144. Now, if price action lifts here, watch for the 50 EMA to be resistance. If it breaks above that 50 EMA, then the probability increases that we're going to go get those levels upside. But always be ready intraday for both directions. All right, taking a look at the 3 major industries here from NQ, ES, and YM. The NQ, again, running its way down here inside the gap. 50-200 moving averages, T3 moving averages, continuing that overnight move. 51.44, not yet crossed. So, yes, there is an upward trend still intact, but we'll hold that until the 50 crosses the 144. If price action does intraday bounce back up, pulls the 4-hour charts, look for the 144 to be resistance like it did here, and then look for the 50. If price action is able to break back above those 50 and 144, then we're not going to run down and capture those 200 MAs. 50 MA will hold, the gap will hold, and we will continue upside. But again, intraday, always ready from both directions. If you're looking for the short, I would love to see a pullback up here for resistance against the 144 or 50, and then to follow the same direction downside. Solid Heikin Ashi bars tails down, and I want to see the crossover the 50 144. That would give me a confirmed trend to the downside. All right, heading into the week as we've been looking at price action on the Econo Day or any economic calendar that you're following. Again, a little bit heavier tomorrow on Econ Day, not much as we lead. It really is about Wednesday as we go into the EIA report and FOMC. So Wednesday, look out for Wednesday, guys. Quad witching on Friday as we expire all contracts for June, and then all volume will be in the September contract as we head into next week, which brings up the Brexit vote. All right, welcome volatility. Here we go. That concludes just the insight for the daily trend. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My mantra of one simple strategy, any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at Trading Fibs. And as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only trade what's in front of me and on my charts. And as always, leave your bias at the door when trading. Hey, guys, I've been holding off for a little bit on my futures ETF and market cap leaders. That's where I review a variety of different indices, including the ETF futures, market cap leaders, industrials. Doing a little bit of rework on that, should be done this week, and we'll get back into that starting next weekend. But I haven't let you go on that. Looking forward to keeping up a weekly newsletter. So taking a little break from that right now, but we're keeping our trading session focus as we are in week 24. Wow, week 24 of 2016. Have yourselves a Blue Zone day wherever you may be. I'm in the new area of the Pacific Northwest and absolutely loving it. Hope you're not too hot where you are. It's about 60 degrees here. Crazy wearing sweatshirts during the summer. Hey guys, have yourself a good day, good night, and good trading.